Alrighty guys, what is going on everybody, and happy Thursday to everybody out there. Glad to have y'all here for today. Let's go ahead and see who we have ourselves here in the chat for today. We got TRG, we have Finn, we have, let's see here, we have Lord, we have The Forge TCG, we got Logan, we have Crystal, we have Ryan, we have Robin, we have Roslyn, Rolson, sorry, or maybe it's Roslyn. Sorry, yeah, my name pronunciation is not very good. Let's see here, Marantha, let's see here, Jo, Carlos, what's up everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Like I said, I know I said some of those names wrong, so I'm, a little sorry for that. Like I said, I'm terrible when it comes to names and overall pronunciations whenever it comes to it. But what's up everybody? Hope everyone's having a great day so far. So, we got a big update. This thing's supposed to go Cat 5. Category 5 hurricane is in the forecast here out of the system. Currently, the storm is a Cat 2 with sustained winds of 105 miles per hour. 105 with gusts getting up to 125 here. This thing's expected to jump. Right now, it's kind of in that Category 2 range we were just talking about. It is expected to jump to Cat 4. Basically here, possibly by this evening. We're talking a potential upgrade from 25 mile an hour difference here. Like I said, right now we're talking 105. It's supposed to be forecasted to be 130 by the end of the day, which is definitely a little crazy. That's a lot of rapid intensification. It actually does have an eye, as we are going to be showing you guys here in a minute. But anyways, yeah, this thing's forecasted to be a potential Category 5 here by tomorrow evening. Okay, by tomorrow evening. Once again, the track is still just north of the Lesser Antilles and just north here of Puerto Rico overall for the most part. So, that's good that it's, as of now, forecasted to be away from land. Like I said, though, we're definitely going to be feeling some of those effects whenever it comes to, the problems like, rip currents and overall, swelling of the water. That's going to be a, that's going to be a problem, with the system for some of those Caribbean islands out there. So, got to definitely watch out there for that. Anyways, but then continue to track its way. It looks like it's going to downgrade to a Cat 4, upper end Cat 4. It could be a Cat 5 for a decent amount of time, but then a little bit of weakening is expected in its late life here. You can see about around 140 with gusts up to 165. But at its peak here, like I was talking about, its peak has it up to 160 with, get this, wind gusts up to 195 miles per hour being a possibility. That is crazy. 195 mile per hour winds is a little breezy. So yeah, that's definitely the crazy part. But right now, in terms of the cone of uncertainty here, once again, we're still days away from it approaching the U.S. East Coast or getting near whatever it decides it wants to do. By the time it gets in this region, let's just say, it's still several days away. So obviously, a lot can still change and a lot will change here. But anyways, but yeah. That's what I wanted to overall mention to you guys here. Let's see here. Leading Blind says, hello, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. It's Maranatha. Is that right? Hopefully I still say it all right. Sometimes even if you can pronounce, if you kind of break it down for me, sometimes I still have a hard time reading it. Anyways, but let's take a look at some models, guys. We got the GFS here, the American GFS model. This is the latest run. It's actually still coming through here. I'll go ahead and show y'all real quickly. We only have up to 282 hours right now, but this is a new run that's coming through. This is the new 12 Zulu run that's coming out right now. But anyways, in terms of the GFS, this thing continues on a westerly motion, rapidly intensifying here. Gets a little close to Bermuda in the long range here, basically for September 15th. So this is still, several days away from now. 8 days, I believe, is for the 15th. So you can see a little over a week out. This system's going to be possibly near Bermuda, according to the GFS. Get a little frontal system that rolls through and kind of knocks it out to sea. But this thing gets definitely close to Nova Scotia there, which is, a little bit of a, concern. Like I said, it's not a for sure thing yet. Things are most certainly going to change here as we work our way down in time, but regardless, it could have a close approach to Nova Scotia there, maybe even portions, like I said, of eastern Canada in general. Some of those areas, I'm not exactly sure what area this is in right here, but it's in eastern Canada for the most part. We could be seeing a bit of impacts out of that possibly as high pressure builds in across the Atlantic. So that's that. We actually have another system as well, another hurricane, as you can see right here. It's expected to, really kick off here. Right now, it is a tropical depression. This actually just formed here a couple hours ago. 2 hours ago, this thing actually just formed in the Atlantic. This one right here. It actually is forecasted to be a hurricane here, potentially here by, the 10th, so in about 3 days from now. It is forecasted to be a hurricane, but you can see it just kind of goes out in the central Atlantic, really not supposed to do anything, too crazy overall. But like I said, though, it's definitely, going to be, another possible hurricane, more of a likelihood of another hurricane out there. But anyways, like I said, in terms of this guy, in terms of Lee, like I said, we definitely need to monitor its track still. It's going to get a little close between Bermuda and the U.S. coast from what it looks like. It seems like that high-pressure ridge, it remains to the west of the system now. It seems like that's more of the agreement. So, in theory, that should allow for the system to not make a direct landfall in the U.S. Like I said, it still can change. It still possibly could change, but it doesn't look like it's the most likeliest path right now. The most likely path, oh my gosh, I keep on grabbing soundings. The most likely path of this guy, basically just going between Bermuda and between the U.S. East Coast here overall. It's kind of what it seems to be. Let's see here. Is 300 mile an hour wind possible with a hurricane? No, I don't think so. Let's see. Kelly says hi. What's up, Kelly? Hope you're doing good. No, I don't think 300 is possible. It's definitely nothing we've seen recorded. I think the highest was like 225, 215, 225 was the highest we've ever recorded, which is crazy enough. That's already crazy enough. But yeah. What's up, Liam? Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you here. Hope everything's well with you. But anyways, yeah, no, that's the GFS model. That's regarding the latest, the latest and greatest American model whenever it comes to it here. Then we have the European model. Now, the European model's latest one only goes out like 90 hours, so we're going to drop down a model run to the 0 Zulu run, which came out like 8 p.m. yesterday, I think. It's basically that's basically what we have right now. The closest one we got here from the European model. But yeah, continuing motion here, right there between Bermuda and the U.S. East Coast. We got the high pressure across the Ohio Valley Midwest region, and it kind of knocks its way out there, maybe even towards Maine. Seems to be a possibility. Maybe out there towards like eastern Maine could be a something to watch out there for it. And once again, it kind of goes near Nova Scotia. So in the long range there, like I said, this is several days out still. I mean, like I said, this is for the 16th. I mean, obviously from the 16th now, that's several days away. It's like, 9 days away from now? So there's bound to be some changes in the forecast by the time we reach that point, because, we're going to get more information on the current analysis and, all of that stuff here overall. But, yeah, but it's definitely crazy. According to the, oh my gosh, dude, look at this. Down to 914 millibars, according to the, wow, according to the European model. It looks like as the system tracks its way closer to the U.S., or in that general direction, I should say, the winds across the upper levels possibly will increase out there. So that's, that could allow for the system to, basically maybe have some problems keeping itself together. So you thank you for the coverage of Idalia. You're very welcome. Very welcome, Starduster. Like I said, I'm definitely glad to be here for you guys. Definitely glad to help out with everybody because, like I said, it's definitely been a crazy past couple of weeks in the hurricane season. We had Hillary that went through, then we had a Dahlia roll through, and then we have Lee, and then we have another system that, like I said, was just now starting to form out there across portions of the eastern, kind of central Atlantic here for the most part. Another projected hurricane to occur. But like I said, this guy should just remain out in the U.S. Or, sorry, remain out in the not the U.S. Should just remain out in the middle of the Atlantic and shouldn't really cause too much of a problem. Let's see here. We've been watching for Lee. Yep. We got to keep an eye out there for Lee. I mean, like I said, the forecast here, it's still far. It's still, a far ways away by the time it reaches the U.S. East Coast. I mean, like I said, obviously, the most of the models that we've seen. Do I not have my pin up? I guess I don't. So let's go ahead and try to launch that. But what I was going to say, here we go. Oh, and my pin's deciding it wants to break on me. All right. Let me go ahead and fix this real quickly. Let's go ahead and relaunch this. But what I was saying is that most of the model, I think I have a pin on here. Yeah, here we go. Most of the models has this thing, kind of pulling out in between areas like, Bermuda and portions here, across the East Coast. Most of the models has this thing tracking its way out to sea, which I see to be the most likely scenario. I'm not gonna lie with you guys. It's what seems to be the most likely scenario. Because it kind of looks like the overall verdict is that, according to some of these models that we've been watching, it looks like we're going to be having a bit of ridging, a bit of high pressure building in across the U.S., the Central Plains, the Midwest here in the Ohio Valley, which should help keep the system abroad, should help keep it out to sea for the most part. But like I said, some of the models in the long extended range, like I was talking about, obviously is supporting this thing, maybe getting still a little close to the Northeast being a possibility. But like I said, there's just too much unknowns right now. Will I take zip codes in a bit? Not today. Yeah, no, not today. This is just a tropical weather update. I only do zip codes for whenever we're doing severe weather coverage and overall. But no, this is just a tropical weather update. But anyways, yeah, nope. Definitely got to keep an eye out there for it. But that's kind of the long range guidance. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring you guys over here to the satellite view. Yeah, I want to go ahead and show you guys what the storm looks like right now. This thing is a freaking beast. Look at this thing. We got an eye on it now. Let's see, the eye's been, forming over the last little bit. Got some really nasty bands of convection happening with this guy. Overall, whoops, did not mean to do, no, come on. Really? There we go. So overall, like I was saying, that we got ourselves some pretty strong convection, really wrapping around the center there. Very well-defined eye is now visible on the latest, satellite imagery there. It's doing really good. It's very healthy. Like I said, it looks great. And once again, like I was explaining, for a couple days, there's no limiting factors with this guy. There's a lot of warm temperatures out there in the ocean. The surface temperatures of the ocean is very warm to support this system. There's also no wind shear, which is allowing for the system just to continue to thrive out there in the Atlantic. And like I said, a lot of moisture, as you can tell. There's a lot of moisture in the system. It's doing very well. It's definitely doing very, very well overall. So, in terms of this latest satellite, we'll go ahead and pause this actually on the latest scan. And you can see that, once again, that eye has been developed pretty well. It's not perfectly symmetrical right now or anything, but it's doing its best. It's definitely doing pretty good. Have I seen Jova from Tropical Storm to Cat 5 in like a day? I did. Yep, I did see that one. The one out there in the EPAC. Well, luckily that's not supposed to cause any problems. That's why we haven't talked about it too much. The only one that we're concerned about here is obviously the one that's out there for Lee. Like I said, Lee's the one we're a little iffy with. Like I said, obviously, this one's supposed to be, once again, well out, not supposed to cause any problems. I mean, it's far away from land, so that's why we haven't mentioned that guy. But also got a new system, like I said, it's just developed here 2 hours ago. Just became a tropical depression 2 hours ago as it worked its way off the west coast of Africa here in another tropical wave. So overall, this thing is forecasted to be a hurricane. I mean, maybe even higher than Cat 1 at some point, I think is a possibility overall. But will I go live later tonight? More than likely, yes. Yeah, more than likely, yes. I actually have a new set of monitors coming in today. So I'm going to be working on my setup here whenever they get here, which will probably be here in a little bit. But I'll probably be live. I'll definitely try to go live. The reason I was not able to last night, I'm not going to lie with you guys, I was so exhausted. For the last couple of nights, I've only been able to sleep for 4 to 5 hours. I've only been able to sleep for like 4 to 5 hours each night, and it finally caught up to me yesterday. I was working on my winter forecast, which I still have yet to get done. I'm still working on it. Don't worry, I'm not quitting on it. I'm actually about a third of the way done with the video portion, and after that, it'll be uploaded. Anyways, but yeah, so I was working on that. I got so exhausted, and I'm like, I'm gonna lay down and take a nap for an hour or two. Next thing I woke up, it's 12 midnight. It's like, oh, come on. Then I got really tired and fell back asleep again, and I woke up at like 5 a.m. so like I said, it's sorry about that, you guys. It finally caught up to me, it looks like, overall. Let's see. Hey, subbed yesterday. Would I consider this a lot of activity compared to past hurricane seasons? This is very active, considering that we're in an El Nino. We're going to learn more about that in the winter forecast here, overall, for whenever that comes out. But yeah. See, Lee is a fish cane. Possibly. Regardless, I think it's going to cause some rip current problems for the East Coast of the U.S. in general. Like I said, it seems like more and more of a less chance of this thing making landfall on the U.S. East Coast, so that's good. As of right now, it's not expected. Between most of the models out there, I mean, you can see the spaghetti models. We'll go and pull that up for you guys. But the spaghetti models and everything like that, it's looking like it's pulling to the north here. Let's go and bring you guys over there real quickly. So that's the spaghetti models. You can see how they track to the northwest here over the next several days, and then they turn up here to the north for the most part. They definitely do turn to the north a bit overall. What day is Lee supposed to be a Cat 5? Here for the 8th. So tomorrow evening it's forecasted to be a Cat 5. By this evening it's forecasted to be a Category 4. So right now it's a Cat 2 with sustained winds of 105, gusts up to 125. This evening forecasted to be sustained of 130 with gusts up to 160. So it's going to rapidly develop here, as which was kind of expected for the last several days. I mean, obviously the system has definitely been doing very well in the environment that it's in. So yeah, it definitely is a little crazy. In terms of the intensity here, you can see the models actually has this thing, the middle point definitely getting up into the Cat 4 plus region. I mean, obviously the majority of the models have been, talking about this here. Do I think the instance of a hurricane will help slow down upcoming hurricanes? Obviously hurricanes do cool down the waters, and the waters is a very very necessary thing. Very warm waters is a very necessary thing for hurricane development. If another hurricane forms, or another tropical system forms and tracks into that area, it could have a little bit of problems due to the waters that are a little cooler out there. Maybe maybe slightly weaken. It's possible, but obviously it depends on its track. It depends on the track of future canes if we have any. But yeah. Let's see here. But that's a good question, by the way. It's a really good question. But here's the ensembles, y'all. You can see most of the ensembles has this thing, kind of coming a little close to the U.S. coastline, but, mostly remaining between Bermuda and the U.S. More than likely, like I said, more than likely here right now, we are seeing, like I said, more than likely we are seeing a most likely probability that this thing's just going to pass to the north between Bermuda and the U.S., which could definitely bring effects for both of the places, both the U.S. East Coast. Once again, in terms of rip currents, if you're going to the beach next week, you could see some big waves, as well as you could be seeing, obviously some rip current issues, which could be a problem. Let's see, I have to send more Brits to this channel who react to extreme north weather. They don't get it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, North American weather is pretty daggone nuts regarding everything from the tropics to tornadoes to everything. We get it in the U.S. pretty good. Yeah, U.S. has some pretty wild weather, that's for sure. That is 100% for sure. But anyways, yeah, no, that's something that we're going to, definitely need to be paying attention there for. Something we're definitely going to need to look out there for the next, couple of days and everything like that. So, like I said, once again, the ensembles have it mostly pulling basically up to the north here overall. You can see how, that seems like the most probable outcome in general. Oh, did my camera go out? Yes, it did. What the heck? Happens once in a blue moon. My camera decides it wants to go out. Alright, well, y'all, I'm going to be cameraless because I think I was messing with the wires whenever I was getting ready to set my new monitors and stuff up. So, that might be a wired issue. Anyways, but we'll continue on this here for now. But like I was saying, though, no, it's definitely supposed to, get a bit interesting. In general, and like I was saying, we're gonna go and work you guys back over here to the tropics here, Once again, we are seeing that we are expecting, right now, the current storm at the moment is a Cat 2 with sustained winds of 105, with gusts getting up to 125. Then obviously, like I was saying here, by today, it's forecasted to be, a Category 4 with sustained winds of 130, with gusts getting up to 160. By tomorrow morning, we're talking sustained winds of 150 with gusts up to 185. Then by tomorrow evening, around 8 p.m. Eastern, we're talking the possibility here of winds sustained at 160 with gusts up to 195, which is crazy. Definitely into a pretty decent Category 5 strength. Like I said, to be classified as a Category 5, it's got to have sustained winds of at least 157 miles per hour. So if it's anything lower than that, it's considered less than Cat 5. And like I was saying, though, this thing's forecasted to get up to sustained of 160. So kind of low-end Cat 5 right now is in the forecast in general. Overall, that's that. Liam says my camera went out. Yeah, I know, I saw. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my camera. Like I said, I think it was my my wiring. Like I said, I think my cables came loose because, like I said, I'm getting new monitors and I've been working on my desk a little bit here, so I think I might have moved things around. Not to mention, it also does that every once in a while too. Hasn't done it in a long time though. Let's see. If it hits Massachusetts, would it still be a hurricane? The odds of that is pretty daggone low. But according to intensities, it looks like it still could keep up a bit of maybe near hurricane strength as it pulls up to the north. I mean, once again, we'll go ahead and hop you guys back over here to the models. In general, like I said, we're going to bring y'all over here to the back over to the GFS here. Let's go ahead and bring y'all back. Once again, y'all, sorry that the camera went out. I don't know what happened, to be honest, but let's see. But yeah, no, the new GFS model did come through, obviously showing the system as kind of expected. This is what I think the best the case scenario is. What I believe is that this thing will travel between Bermuda and the U.S. Seems like that's been the case for the last couple of days overall. But you can see how the system remains between that and then gets kicked out. Kind of gets a little close there to eastern Canada as well as Nova Scotia, which obviously should monitor this. But once again, this is also for the September 16th commute. This is obviously very far away from now. This is definitely a bit away. A bit away from now. So obviously there's going to be, there is going to be a bit of differences here in the next couple of days for sure. Because, models are only good up to a certain extent, if that makes sense here. Let's see. No model showing at West anymore. As of now, not really. That was the GFS. We had the European model. Let's see here. Yeah, the Euro that came out here. The last big European model had it a little bit more to the west here. In terms of models like the CMC, the latest CMC model has it kind of similar to what the GFS was showing here, but getting a little closer to Bermuda actually, according to this in particular model. So it could get a little bit more closer to Bermuda there overall. Let's see here. What do I think about using controlled nuclear explosions for a Cat 5 to weaken? That would provide more long-range problems from radiation, which would not be good for our wildlife out in the water. So it's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. Now, you should never use nuclear weapons. Honestly, should never be used in any circumstance. But yeah, definitely would be a very problematic for the ecosystem out in the ocean. And you can't. It might help short range. I mean, it obviously would likely destabilize it a bit, depending on the megaton usage or whatever size the yield of the bomb, I should say. That would probably cause it to destabilize, yes, but like I said, it would have long-term effects rather than, than that. Let's see here. But yeah, that's essentially what we're going on. Let's see here. Michael coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Michael. Once again, I'm sorry I don't have my face cam to react or anything, but Michael, thank you so much. That is greatly appreciated. Coming to the 5, saying we have to remember Hurricane Ian last year. We were talking about potential Tampa landfall and see as late as 12 hours before it hit Fort Myers. That is true. Yeah, it definitely shifted at the last minute. But, once again, like I said, still anything is possible considering that, the models are only good out to some extent, like I was saying, because at the, at some range they become a little, just a little bit unknown, a little bit more inaccurate, I should say, which is interesting. But, oh my god, look at that. According to CMC, those two hurricanes get next to each other at some point. That's interesting. Anyways, but we're going to hop over to the HWRF model, guys. This is the, obviously, one of the main hurricane models in terms of things. So whenever it comes to the HWRF here, I mean, we're talking, yeah, rapid development here according to the models. As expected, definitely as expected here. Wow, nice little pinhole eye there according to this model here. Very, very well-defined center right around tomorrow morning, actually, according to this model. It's definitely a little crazy. HMON, let's see here, in terms of this one, has it definitely getting pretty daggone strong. The new model has it getting down into the 930 millibar zone, which seems like every model is at least supporting that amount of strength here. But we're definitely talking some pretty heavy stuff, with sustained winds up to 126 knots, according to this, which is, definitely upper category 4. Very, very strong overall. Let's see here. I was in Fort Myers 2 weeks ago before Ian hit. Oh, wow. Or 2 weeks before Ian hit. Wow, that's crazy. That is a little crazy to think about. But anyways, yeah, once again, HMON definitely has this thing kicking up. But let's go and take a look at the crazy models, the HAFS. Known to be one of the most craziest weather models on existence here, from what I personally believe anyways. Holy cow. So the new run we have coming through has a pressure getting down to 911 millibars here. For September 9th. Once again, very, very symmetrical eye according to this model here. Golly. Yeah, it's definitely quite a beast there according to the model. And here's the crazier model. The HAFSB is the more crazier one, I believe. 909 according to the new run. Holy cow. Wow, dude, look at that thing. Absolute beast according to the HAFSB run. The HAFS models, like I was saying in general, seem to be the crazy ones. In general, seems to be the ones that are a little intensive, I should say. So definitely, I kind of think more of like the worst case scenario in general would be these models here. See, it sounds like we need to wait till Saturday or Sunday for something to be more solid. Yeah, no, honestly, that's for sure. Right now, all we know about the system here, and we have an idea of what it could do. But right now, this thing's forecast to just continue northwest for a couple days. Continue northwest for at least until the 12th, which is 5 days from now. So for a while, it's going to do that. Like I said, we have some ideas on the models that has this thing pulling up here to the north. Here, I'm going to show you guys the ensembles. Whoops. Need a new mouse. Keeps on giving out on me, but you can see a lot of the ensembles has this thing, pulling north because of that ridge that we have ourselves out. See here. Severe thunderstorm warning just got issued. Severe thunderstorm watch just got issued for a large area. Interesting. Oh, I see that, actually. Yeah, we have a bit of severe weather across the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast today. Across the yellow is the biggest area you got to watch out for. So Northern Virginia all the way up to portions here of Vermont. Yeah, all the way up here to Vermont. So watch out for severe weather in these regions here. Obviously, the dark green has a small chance of severe weather all the way down to Panhandle, Florida. And another risk across Louisiana, another one across Oklahoma, another one across Nebraska. A couple isolated marginal risks out there, but the main threat for severe weather today will be across like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, New York, and like I said, Vermont there. So just wanted to let you know. Let's see here. CRYS says, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. You as well. Let's see here. Lee's longer-term models has the massive hurricane stay away from the U.S. Yeah, for the most part as of now. But like I said, just please note that can change. Considering that, like I was saying here, let me actually bring you all back over here. Like I was saying, is that 5 days out from now is typically, I don't like forecasting past 5 days personally. 5 days from now, the storm's going to be just north of Puerto Rico. Just to the north of Puerto Rico and north of the Dominican Republic, essentially. So 5 days from now, the 12th, this thing's going to be still pretty far from, these areas here. So definitely is going to be changing quite a bit. Definitely is going to be changing. See, so weird not seeing Andrew while he talks. He's invisible. I am invisible. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my camera, y'all. So I'll get that squared out by next stream. So I'm going to be doing another live stream tonight or this evening for another one. But yeah. But like I said, yep, guys, this thing is forecasted now to be a Cat 5 by tomorrow evening. Look at this. Sustained winds expected to be up to 160 with wind gusts getting up to 195 miles per hour. That is a beast. Definitely a beast. And like I was saying, y'all, back over here to the satellite imagery on the storm real quickly, which I'll go ahead and show you guys. But back over here to the satellite. I mean, look at this thing. It has a pretty well-defined eye. I mean, it's still not perfectly symmetrical, but it's there. The eye is there. And it's only going to continue to look more and more better. I guarantee you by this evening, it probably will be symmetrical by this evening, considering the rate of development that this thing's undergoing. And it is expected to be a Cat 4 by this evening. Right now, like I said, it's a Category 2 as of the last update, which was at 11 a.m. Next update, I think, comes out in about 45 minutes or so. But we're talking, by later on this evening, Category 4 hurricane. Like I said, right at the current moment, though, like I was saying, 105 sustained with gusts up to 125 here overall. Where is it heading? Like I said, it's moving to the west here, kind of northwest, actually. We're going to bring you guys back over here. So there's the track of it. Like I said, here's the U.S. There's Florida. There's Carolinas. There's Virginia. The northeast here. You can see the storm is tracking west. And this is 5 days from now. It'll be right here at this point. It'll be right here at this last little marker for 5 days from now, which is the 12th. So for September 12th, the storm will be right here. Forecasted to be right in here. Which obviously, what's happening from 5+ days from now is very, very eerie to look for. See here, it has dry air near the eye. I don't think it does. No, it's doing good. It has no dry air near the eye. It's pretty well. If you're calling that dry air, it's not really. But no, there's a lot of convection that's wrapping all around this thing. Let's see. Has anyone ever tried to drop something out of a hurricane to weaken it? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know personally. I know there was something they were trying to do. They're trying to cool down one side. I forgot what it was. I used to read up on these systems. The weather nerd I am. I used to read up on tropical cyclones, and apparently, I don't know if they did or they were going to, but they were planning to fly into the hurricane and release some type of super cooled substance to weaken them. And just do it on one side here overall. Which, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, though. Let's see here. Kayla, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Saying hi, everyone. Hey, Andrew. Hope everyone is having a good day so far. You as well, Kayla. Thanks for joining. Hope you're doing well yourself, like I said. Yeah, sorry my camera, y'all. Once again, if you guys are just tuning in and wondering where my face is, where my beautiful face is. Like I said, my camera gave out here a couple minutes ago, so sorry about that. Forever Blessed says hi, or hey, what's up? I thought you've been here for a while, though. Let's see here. Okay, thank you, Andrew. They don't know yet the landfall. We don't know the landfall or if it'll make landfall. That's the thing. We still don't know that. What we know now is for the next 5 days, it's going to continue tracking northwest. We have an idea, like I said, that it could pull to the north. Is a lot of the ensembles, which I'll go ahead and show you real quickly. The ensemble here. Let's see. Go ahead and zoom out. There you go. You can see a lot of the ensemble shows, the system. Obviously, gradual motion to the northwest for the next several days, and then it looks like it could pull up to the north here. Some models, ooh, that would be something nasty. Look at that. Is that one model, that one ensemble, literally going right through New York City? I'm pretty sure that's exactly where New York City is, right there. What the heck? Obviously, that's an ensemble. Don't trust that, though. Just saying, don't freak out. That's just something stupid the model is talking about. But you can see the majority of the runs has this thing out to sea. It's just weird. Out of all places there. But, the middle ground is that black line there. Kind of taking that line of best fit overall. Why does it have the pressure so dang low? I mean, the pressure's already down in, like, the 970s, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, let's see. Is the storm coming towards Bermuda? Now, right now, like I said, obviously Bermuda's not in the cone, but if I was in Bermuda, I would definitely watch out for it because, like I said, with that expectancy to turn to the north, it would not be impossible if it does have some form of impacts at some point there for Bermuda. I mean, whether it be in direct impacts of it making approach to land or if it's, an issue with the current, the rip currents and maybe a little bit of swelling and stuff like that could be possible. Let's see here. But yeah. Let's see. Okay, thank you, Andrew. You're very welcome. You guys are very welcome. Like I said, we're here for y'all. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, okay? Like I said, if you guys have any questions, let me know. We're going to be here for y'all for a little bit. I want to go ahead and get you guys in the latest information, I should say. It's, what we care about. So, let's see here. But let's go ahead and bring you guys over here back to the North Atlantic here. Let's see. All right, so once again, y'all, we're talking back over here. Like I said, we're talking back to the GFS here. Once again, this model overall has this thing tracking its way here to the northwest. Once again, like I said, we have ourselves a ridge, an area of high pressure that's more than likely going to happen here out there towards, the east central side of the country. Like I said, which, in theory should keep it deflected off of a direct U.S. landfall. Once again, that's the long range. There's a lot of things that can change from that point of now. I mean, the storm, like I said, the storm's like right here right now. The storm's got a way to go before it reaches anywhere near that. So there's still a lot of unknowns. Like I said, there's no way of exactly saying, yes, this swing will reflect off. But, it seems like that's the common ground in the long range here overall. Like I said, ECMWF here, the European model, the last full run we had. This one had it getting a little closer than what the GFS. It seems like the European and the European ECMWF and the GFS have kind of swapped places, because if you guys remember, if you guys were here during my previous updates on the tropics, we were seeing that the GFS showed a close call to the US. It seems like the GFS has been shifting away, and the Europeans have been getting a little closer, which is a little interesting overall. But like I said, right now there's no reason to panic, no reason to freak out about the system if you live across the east, because like I said, we're still not guaranteed any impacts at all from the system here up in the northeast. I mean, it's still not it's not a for sure thing, okay? So just know that, like I said, there's no reason to freak out. There's no reason to panic and go buy everything at a grocery store. There's no reason to do that, because like I said, there's still a lot of unknowns. I mean, right now, like I said, we're talking pretty daggone slow development. It is forecasted to pick up a bit of speed there, because we get a big jet. Let's see here. Get ourselves a big jet stream that kicks its way up across the east coast here, which is going to increase the amplify, I should say, the speed of which the system is moving, and which will also help probably destroy the storm. And you can see rapid weakening. It goes from like the 920s to like the 960s before getting close to land, if it ever does, like I said. But overall, that's that. Let's see here. Stardust says, once again, thank you so much for your help down here with Adalia. Take care. You're very welcome. Like I said, Stardust, you're very welcome. Like I was saying, guys, we're gonna always be here whenever it comes to the tropics. Not just the tropics, winter weather, severe weather as well. I would cover today's severe weather, but like I said, I have a lot of things I got to do today, y'all. Plus, in terms of like tornadoes and stuff, I don't even think there's much of a tornado risk today. Yeah, there's not. So, like I said, obviously, I would, but I have the tropics to track, and then I got my new monitors, my new setup coming through. I gotta work on that and stuff like that. But later on this evening, again, like I was saying, guys, we are gonna go back live on the tropics here, and hopefully I'll have my camera fixed by then. Hopefully I will. But anyways, all right, let's go do a little update, y'all. Once again, this thing is a hurricane now, if you guys haven't known. Like I said, right now we're talking sustained winds of 105. We're going to show you guys. Right now, the movement is to the west-northwest. The minimum pressure is 983 millibars and continuously dropping really quickly. So the thing is definitely dropping pretty fast. Like I said, we're talking sustained winds of 105 with gusts getting up to 125 right now at its current state as of 11 a.m. this morning. Advisory number 9 that was issued from the National Hurricane Center. Like I said, going from a Cat 2 to a Cat 4 possibly by this evening. We're talking the possibility here of this system, getting up to sustained winds of 130 with gusts up to 160 being a possibility by 8 p.m. this evening, which that's crazy. That is pretty daggone crazy. Then obviously by here for tomorrow, basically tomorrow evening, look at this, for the 8th. So basically here for tomorrow evening, the National Hurricane Center has this thing basically getting, up to Cat 5 strength, like I was saying. This thing's forecasted to be a Category 5 now, you guys. Sustained winds as of tomorrow evening, possibly around 160, estimated to be right around 160 sustained, with gusts up to a whopping 195. Which is pretty daggone crazy. Then obviously possibly downgrading back into Cat 4 for the next couple of days. But yeah, so this thing is, as of now, expected to get up to Category 5 strength, which is a little nuts. Once again, we got another system that just rolled off the west coast of Africa. Currently a tropical depression, 35 sustained. Almost a tropical storm. It could be a tropical storm here by later on this evening. In the long range, or the mid-range here for the 10th, We are talking, this thing is forecasted to become a hurricane, but actually stay out to sea for the most part, so it shouldn't really be too much of a problem. Let's see, you know that there'll be recon mission tonight, so hopefully tomorrow, Saturday, we get a better idea of where this will go. I don't know if they are. I haven't heard if they're going to do one today, but I wouldn't be surprised, considering, this system's pretty crazy. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised if they definitely fly out near this thing today. Because they have some airports, I believe, some of those Hurricane Hunter aircraft stationed somewhere in the Caribbean. I know there's definitely some in the Caribbean. Those WJ-130s, I think they're called. They're basically an AC-130, but just decked out instead of guns, just has weather equipment. It's pretty funny, but they are really cool planes. But yeah, they might fly some of those in there. I would definitely say soon, probably, to get some more information, and they'll probably do some also some missions, probably taken out from Florida. I'd say either launching from Florida or from somewhere in the Caribbean, and study its further future environment. Obviously, they put radiosondes, so basically that's the measurement that records data. So what is really cool is that they'll fly out and they'll just take little samples of what the environment looks like in front of the hurricane, and they'll basically put all of that data they collect and they'll throw it onto a supercomputer with atmospheric principle models and stuff like that. So they'll run all those models from the the information that they collect out there by dropping these radiosondes. Basically going into plane, they just drop probes down and get information from it. They'll probably do that. I'd say at some point to gather some more information of what it's going to do in the long range. But yeah, no, I would not be surprised if they definitely do that here soon. Let's see here. Let's see, there's some storm chases in Pennsylvania area today, but I doubt they'll be chasing anything. A few rumbles of thunder and a little bit of rain. Yeah, well, there's no tornadoes expected for today. Once again, you guys, if you're just now joining us, we do actually have a severe weather threat today as well. Mostly across the northeast, as you can see, basically from areas like northern Virginia. We actually got a severe thunderstorm watch out here a couple, not too long ago. But from northern Virginia through Maryland, through portions of, actually, like I said, New Jersey into Pennsylvania, up into New York State, and obviously severe weather is possible up there. So if you live across those regions, just heads up to y'all, just letting you know that there's a little bit of severe weather. Dark green is a very small chance for a couple severe storms. I mean, we'll have a couple here and there. We actually got one currently southeast of Atlanta, and a couple other areas like Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Louisiana that could have a couple of isolated. Why are these things moving so fast? 154 sustained. I feel like the bigger the category, the more faster it moves. Because, yeah, no, for sure. Because look at this one. Look how slow this one's spinning. That one's spinning slow, and then this one's spinning decently fast, and then this one's just crazy. I've never noticed that. I've never noticed that with that. We obviously have this guy in the EPAC here. This thing was a Cat 5 here earlier today, but not anymore. It just got downgraded to a upper Cat 4. I mean, it's very close again to Cat 5 strength, but anyways, but like I was saying, yep, we are seeing Cat 5 strength here in the Futurecast for Lee. By tomorrow evening at the earliest is kind of what we're talking about in terms of, this thing being a Cat 5 overall. Is it possible for it to make a crazy turn southward? You mean like go down there here? Like you're talking potentially in the Caribbean? Very unlikely, I'd say, considering that we're going to have this high-pressure ridge that more than likely will happen, which will probably actually steer this thing more to the north. It seems like that is, it seems like that's the biggest likelihood is that this thing's going to pull north. It's very unlikely. Extremely unlikely that it'll pull to the south. But, once again, I mean, from where it's at now and from 5 days from now, that's a big gap for things to change. Okay, so please know that. Please know that. Let's see here. Ronnie says yes. Yeah, like I said, very, very low odds. I really don't... I personally don't see that happening, but, I mean, honestly, like I said, between now and 5 days from now, we'll have some more information on the system here. We're going to have more and more info for the next couple of days here for what it's going to do overall. But, all right, we're going to go ahead and hop you guys back over here to the models. I'm going to go ahead and start you guys back off here with the GFS. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. Like I said, we have a new run that just finished. A brand new run here on the models that has just finished out there. So here we go. So in terms of what's happening, Obviously, the current time being, this thing's still east of the Lesser Antilles. It's going to be tracking its way to the northwest here, picking up some strength as it has no limitations. A lot of moisture available. Obviously, no wind shear to disrupt the storm structure, and a lot of surface temperatures of the ocean. Those surface oceanic temperatures are very warm, which is good for these systems to, grab up some energy. And like I said, it's going to be picking up that energy and rapidly strengthening. It should be just north, just parallel to the Lesser Antilles here, basically by September 10th. According to the GFS, we're talking 8 a.m. at this point, right near areas just north of the Lesser Antilles. Then tracking its way here, continuing to the west. Now, at this point, like I was saying, though, this is in the long range. I mean, this is over 130 hours out. But like I said, in terms of what goes on there, it seems like the most likelihood is that this thing will pull up to the north. Like I said, we get that big ridge, that big high pressure, kind of drags it up to the north here, which obviously, could, according to this, that little speck right there is Bermuda, so Bermuda could have a close sweep by. Also, the U.S. East Coast could possibly get some rip currents out of this, like I was saying. So, like I said, if you're planning a beach vacation across the U.S. East Coast for next week, there could be a possible rip current concern as well as some big waves. So obviously look out there for that. So would not recommend going deep in the water if there's a rip current concern. So look out for those rip current statements from your local National Weather Service wherever you go to the beach at. But yeah, no. And then this thing continues to track its way up to the north. Could impact areas like Nova Scotia maybe at some points. But, once again, that's really far down in time. That's in the really far future now. Back over here to the European model now. This is the ECMWF. Once again, this one's known to be one of the most accurate weather models out there. But like I said, you never should take one model. You should never just watch one model. You got to look at all of the opinions and figure out what their similarities and differences are. And obviously, their similarities is what you want to keep. Their differences, you can kind of throw that away. So in terms of the European, I mean, obviously, the similar thing is that it's tracking to the northwest. That's basically, that is basically an expectancy at this point. Then it tracks its way even further to the west here. It gets that northern kick as we get this ridge, this big area of high pressure across the central U.S., which then works its way to the eastern country, which should, in theory, keep it mostly away. But you can see this thing gets a little awfully close to land here, according to the European model, in the really extended range. But like I was saying, once again, as a bit of a disclaimer, that's very far out from now, okay? That is still, that's probably at least 7+ days out. So from the point of it being here, that's very, very far, and we're definitely going to see the models change from that. We're definitely going to see things change overall. And of course, we got ourselves a CMC model, another model run to look at there. This model overall shows the same principle, continuous northwest motion and a quick gradual turn to the north here, with the models obviously getting, kind of close. According to this one, gets a little too close to Bermuda there. So Bermuda's got to look out there for it. That little speck right there is Bermuda overall. But you can see right there, Bermuda gets a little bit close to the system here, but then that high pressure comes in clutch and hopefully keeps it out to sea overall. And then another cold front potential comes through, which should, obviously, hopefully, like I said, keep it out there. But once again, that's pretty far out. That's pretty far out, and there's a lot that could definitely change here. Then we got the HWRF here in terms of this model. Obviously, this one doesn't go out as far, but we are continuously watching this system travel to the northwest over the next several days here. This is as far as the model goes, but basically here by the September 12th in the morning, this thing will just be to the north of Puerto Rico overall. So we'll definitely need to watch out there for that. A lot of moisture. Like I said, the brown is showing dry air, which is not good for these systems. The bluish green color is kind of showing some, really moisture-filled air from the lower to upper atmosphere, showing that there's a lot of energy, a lot of moisture, I should say, in the atmosphere, which is good for these storms. So it doesn't look like moisture is going to be much of a problem, for a while for this storm here. As it looks like, it looks like it's punching through some dry air, but that does not seem to stop it. It seems like it's going to be doing pretty daggone fine. So yeah, that's that. Regarding that, and whenever it comes to the wind shear overall, like I said, the wind shear is not supposed to be too bad because we obviously have this clockwise circulation. That's actually the venting process. On the upper side of the cyclone, we have counterclockwise, clockwise rotation, which is the venting, and obviously on the surface it's rotating counterclockwise. But you can see that there's a strong jet right over here, possibly in its extended life. Maybe far down in time, this jet could help rip it apart. Hopefully. which would help weaken it more than likely. Let's hope that's the case, but it would also pick up its speed too. So once it gets caught up in this jet stream, it should pick up a bit of speed overall, which will, definitely allow it to travel a lot faster in general. Let's see here. Chances of it striking North Carolina. Right now, there's really not too much support shows it getting near North Carolina. Obviously, I do think because most of the models has it between Bermuda and the U.S. I think that the Carolinas could feel some rip current, like I said, rip current issues for next week here, as the system definitely pulls a little close, but expected to roll through. But yeah, the U.S. East Coast should monitor the progression here for the coastlines because like I said, even if it does not make a direct approach, even if the system's pretty far out, just due to the strength and its overall magnitude, it should allow for the system to throw around a lot of choppy waves and all over the place. So bigger waves as well as overall bigger chance for some rip currents being a concern in general. So right now, like I said, the odds are pretty low in general. So obviously, I'm not too worried about it here. Here's the HAFS. Here's another model here overall. Basically, give it a second to load here, y'all. Here we go. So yeah, this model has the system gradually growing in size too. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I mean, look how small this is. Okay, keep in perspective where it's at. Now look at it here in the future. See how it grows in size? It's really going to pick up a bit of size there, according to the according to actually not just this model but a lot of the other models as well, overall. And you can see obviously from the satellite view this thing really kicks up. Then like I was saying, we get this strong jet stream that rolls its way across possibly across the eastern United States, which will get caught up. Obviously the storm will get caught up in that jet, which will track it more faster to the north. As well as essentially, potentially could help weaken the cyclone or the hurricane. It could help weaken it because all those winds that are aimed at the system, which will, basically rip apart the storm and deorganize it. It's basically a paper shredder for a hurricane. It's a very strong jet stream, like what's possibly in the forecast here. So that is a possibility. Like I said, let's hope that that's the case. That obviously that this jet stream rips it apart. But that's what's going to be tracking it north. That's basically what's going to be allowing it to track north in general. Let's see here. Let's see. What is it? Maystick? Says Jay. What's up? Let's see here. We can see Lee and let's see here. But even mentioning, let's call it for liability. What? What are you talking about? But anyways, DJ says good afternoon. Good afternoon, DJ. Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you here. Good to have you here, my friend. But we're going to go and hop you guys back over to the current satellite view. Like I said, this system is looking pretty daggone fine. Like I said, right now, the system does have an eye, as you guys can see. Get it? Eye in seeing? Okay, anyways, pretty bad joke. But in terms of the system, it does have an eye overall. A lot of convection screaming like two rockets on a pivot point. Yeah, that's what I always pictured it. Like, like a middle point, and you just see just two rockets just spinning in circles. It's pretty cool. So we got a lot of that convection kicking up, obviously moving to the northwest here. Like I said, it's in an environment here that there's really not, like I said, it's basically in an environment that's really not, what's the word for it? It's in an environment where basically it's not going to rapidly weaken. It's only going to be doing strengthening. There's nothing to stop it, is what I'm trying to say. Like I said, considering the the amount of water, how hot those surface temperatures are, the ocean, very hot, which gives a lot of energy to the storms here. In terms of the moisture, like I said, we have a lot of moisture in the system. You can see that it's very compact at this moment, looking very well in general. And like I said, in terms of the wind shear, I mean, you could see, besides the hurricane spinning, there's really no winds pointing at the storm. The winds are very calm. They're very calm. Obviously that's not part of the hurricane. It's pretty calm. So there's no jet as of right now that's tracking right at the cyclone. In general, that's a really bad error. But yeah, there's really no winds that's aiming at it right now. It could be a problem in the future, but overall that's that. Let's see. What is the worst case scenario for North Carolina? So whenever it comes to it, worst case scenario, like I said, right now it's obviously hard to tell. I'm not going to give you guys information that it will scare you guys. That it's especially not true. But As of now, like I said, it really depends on that jet. Like I said, it's not ruled out to get near the U.S. coast. It's still not ruled out yet. Considering, like I said, from where it's at now to 5 days from now, there's a lot of road it still has to travel, okay? As of now, like I said, it's not supposed to hit land in the U.S. Obviously, it's going to come pretty close according to some models, but it seems like the majority of the models keep it out to sea. Mostly, though, between Bermuda and, obviously between Bermuda and the U.S. East Coast. So somewhere around in here is it's going to be tracking towards. As of right now, I see the worst case scenario being, possibility for rip currents, kind of similar to what Hurricane Franklin did. Hurricane Franklin was not too long ago. We had a similar track that kind of worked its way out to sea here. And with that system, in general, it was a pretty strong storm. And, obviously even being several hundred miles away from the U.S. coastline, it still caused rip current issues across the U.S. East Coast, which I think that is almost a certainty with whatever track this thing takes. I mean, obviously, if it makes landfall, which I really hope it doesn't, and like I said, right now we don't have too much information on it making landfall, but if it does, then obviously that's going to be the worst effects. But, I think the best case scenario will still cause some problems for the coastlines. I mean, like I said, I think the best case scenario, we're still going to see some rip current problems for the U.S. East Coast. Definitely being a possibility. I live near Savannah, Georgia. Do I think it could come this way west? Like I was saying, the same thing for North Carolina. We don't really know. We have an idea, which the models seem to agree on fairly well as of right now, that this thing's just going to pull to the north. So the odds are not very likely. Odds are not really likely at this moment. Let's see here. Just wait early here. Just wait early right now to predict where the thing will head. It's pretty much a 50-50. It hits America or if it doesn't. I would say more of a 60-40, actually. 60-40%. Like I said, considering that most of the models support this thing going up north, I'd say 60% chance it won't if I was to give it a number, and a 40% chance it could. But like I said, that's not, always going to be accurate. Really not always going to be accurate. But like I said, once again, most of the models, are supporting this thing as of now, which can change, going out to sea there. But regardless of whatever it does in the future, we're going to be tracking this thing no matter what. We're going to be giving you guys information on it in general because, like I said, obviously it's going to need to be watched regardless of where it ends up. Because, like I said, I mean, this thing's a beast. This system is going to be a very, very, very big beast. What are the models? You want to look at the models? Yeah, okay, we'll go and bring you all back over to those. We've already looked at some of the models. We already looked at all the models, but we'll go and bring you all back over here to them to kind of show you guys what they've been saying here. Once again, we did just get a new GFS run. Just going to bring you guys back over here to the North Atlantic. But we did have a new GFS model run here that rolled through. Continuous tracking to the northwest here. Obviously, the upper jet, the jet stream is going to be pulling this thing up to the northeast. Or be going to the northeast, which is going to basically move the system here, obviously more and more to the north. The latest GFS obviously has this thing getting a little close to Bermuda. That little speck right here, that's Bermuda, getting a little close. But then getting pulled away, but, but that's long range. Remember, that's really long range, and it's going to change. It's going to change regardless. And whenever it comes to the European model, the ECMWF, with the model run right now, you can see how it, obviously still kicks to the north with that jet stream that obviously kicks through, with that high pressure system we have, which then will, this one shows a little closer to the coast, which, obviously need to keep an eye on it. Even if, even so, it looks like only extreme western side will rush the coastline, weaker side of the storm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's the clean side, the quote-unquote clean side. The dirty side's the right-hand side, because that's where your strongest winds are. That's where your, your thermodynamics and your, wind shear overall mixes the best together. And that's essentially where you have the threat for tornadoes, too, is only on the right-hand side of the cyclone. So tornadoes on the right-hand side, and the strongest winds is observed always on the right-hand side. That's a little fun fact for you guys, actually, with the tropical cyclones. The left-hand side can get bad, don't get me wrong. And like I said, in this case, say if it did get close, this would be driving those waves away from the coastline, which will be causing rip currents, which obviously you wouldn't want to be out on the coast during a hurricane anyways. But yeah, definitely pretty crazy. Let's see here. let's see, that 70-degree longitude line marker, if it passes without making a sharp turn, it will become worrisome. Let's hope not. Like I said, let's definitely, definitely hope not overall. I mean, because like I was saying here, I mean, we're not entirely sure if this thing's going to come close to the U.S. or not. Because like I said, between from here and here, like I was explaining here, I mean, you see how long of a road it has to go to get near the U.S. East Coast? From there to there, that's 5 days. So a lot can change in those 5 days. So like I was saying, obviously we're going to know a lot more information in 5 days. Or the system's at its end of its forecast for right now, at least. So by the time the system barrels its way continuously to the northwest, this guy is, we're going to have a lot more information as we work our way towards it. Let's see here. Looks dangerous for Virginia or DC. Yeah, we don't know that for sure. Storms like this literally make their own steering and environment. Yeah, I mean, to some degree, but they usually do get interacted by currents of air. Like, a weak jet stream, more moderate to heavy jet stream. The jets can definitely, alter their position, for sure. I mean, despite the size of the system, yeah, I get what you're saying, though, but not all the times that's the case. But, once again, like I said, we just don't know what's going to happen to the U.S. East Coast as of now, considering that we are still days away from it being in the Caribbean. So, right now the storm's well over here. It's well to the east, and as it works its way here to the west, like I was saying, I mean, it's 5 days from now, for the 12th, it's just going to be north of Puerto Rico. Not even near the Bahamas at that point. The Bahamas are over here. Let's hope it doesn't get by the Bahamas. That wouldn't be too good. Let's see here. Let's see. Storms. Let's see. Oh, I just read that one. Let's see here. But anyways. But like I said, guys, if you are just now starting to join us, obviously welcome. Like I was saying, y'all, this thing right now is a Category 2 hurricane with sustained winds of 105 with gusts getting up to 125. We are talking movement continuously to the west-northwest. We're talking, the low pressure at the current moment is at 983 millibars and obviously rapidly dropping. The system is forecasted to become a Category 4 by tonight. So right now it's at 105, like we were talking about. By tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. this evening, we're talking here, like I said, potentially, we're talking this thing, being a Category 4 with, sustained winds of, 130. So a 25-mile-an-hour jump between now and 8 p.m. according to the model here. And like I said, obviously we work our way out there towards, the region out here, for tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. And this thing's forecasted to be a Category 5. Like I said, sustained winds of 160. J.R. Littleton says, hello, Andrew. What's up? Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you here. Good to have you here. But like I was saying, yeah, we definitely got to be, keeping an eye on it. And then, like I said, in the extended range, again, supposed to downgrade to a Cat 4. Still a pretty beefy Cat 4, though, for a while. It's going to be a major hurricane for probably at least a week. At least 7 days, this thing's going to be a major hurricane, So I'm saying this thing's going to be a beast for a while. And you better bet that it's going to be stirring up the ocean, that's for sure. I mean, you have a magnitude of a storm that's that big, that lasts that long, that's going to be, a bit impactful. And for the people who wants to see the storm right now, I'll go ahead and bring you guys over here to the satellite view. Like I said, it's looking very good right now. Here's the storm at the current moment. Obviously, I said in terms of the system, you can see that rapid convective burst is swirling around the center there. Like I said, basically a bunch of it looks like two different rockets that's on a pinpoint here. You can see them just spinning around that eye wall there, which is nuts. So a lot of heavy intensification, a lot of strong convection going on with the storm here overall. And we obviously have an eye now. Earlier today that developed here. Yep, earlier this morning we had that eye pop up. You can see it now. She's there. The eye is there. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but it's getting close. It's definitely getting close to being a pretty hefty looking storm. Like I said, I bet you possibly by this afternoon, by this evening, I should say, for our next update, probably around 8-9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, this system will possibly actually, be, will probably actually be, pretty well, even more better defined. You can see that that eye would probably be a lot more symmetrical now, within the next several hours. So, like I said, it's undergoing rapid development here. I mean, like I said, considering the the oceanic temperatures, it's using a lot of its energy. I mean, it's picking up a lot of energy as it rolls through the Atlantic. I mean, like I said, right now, you can actually see here that, I mean, this system overall is tracking in these waters as at least 30 degrees Celsius, which is very warm. Very, very warm. Like I said, it has to be 26 degrees Celsius and higher to allow for tropical systems to exist. And like I was saying, this is up in the highest area, the hottest waters is traveling through right now, which is into 30 degrees Celsius plus, which is like, I think 30 Celsius was 86 Fahrenheit. Could be wrong on that, but it's up there. It's very warm waters. And like I said, it's not just strictly reliant up to the waters. Yes, I know that. But like I said, in terms of like the satellite view and stuff like that too, I mean, if I grab the Atlantic wide satellite view, I mean, you could see there's like no winds aiming at this. I mean, yes, we have a little bit of a jet stream over here, but you can see around the system here, around the hurricane, there is no winds. There is no jet stream, nothing, no heavy winds that's ripping apart the storm here. Like I said, it's literally all just, essentially calm out there. So with those really warm waters, and with those warm conditions overall, and the slow overall movement of the system, like I said, this thing's not really, I don't think it's moving too fast, actually. And with it moving slow as well, I mean, it's, due to those weaker winds I was talking about, there's no winds really aiming it. But it's doing good. It's doing really well. Let's see here. If it ventures far enough west, it will interact with the Gulf Stream, warmer waters near the east coast. It could, yes, that's a good point. It definitely could, as it works its way towards the Gulf Stream. I mean, obviously, here's the thing also to take into consideration. We can still see where Franklin passed through, right? Actually, I think that might have been a Dahlia, maybe? No, I think it was a mixture between Adalia and Franklin here. But you can see how the waters are cooler in this streak here. That's from a tropical cyclone that cooled it down with the rainwater and the overall upwelling of taking the heat from the ocean and pulling it up into the system from the last tropical cyclones. If this system rolls, that's probably why it's weakening according to those models as well, because of that increased jet stream we possibly could have. So stronger winds putting at it, and it tracks its way into cooler waters. It could allow it to weaken quite a bit, which that could be a good thing. But I see what you're saying. I mean, if this thing does track its way over the Gulf Stream, it would only be for a limited amount of time too. Which, I mean, it'll probably only do like a couple hours worth of intensification, considering that, the fact that the speed it's going to be moving by the time it's over here, it's going to be moving pretty quickly. So it's not going to have too much time to gather any strength as it rolls over over that region there. Let's see here. I just want to know if this thing's coming to Massachusetts. Like I said, there's no way of telling right now, my friend. Like I said, if I knew, I would definitely tell you. If I could tell you, I would. But that is what we're seeing here. Like I said, from right now, what we do know, continuous northwest motion, just north of the Lesser Antilles, just north of Puerto Rico. Expected to be a Cat 5 by tomorrow evening with sustained winds of 160 with gusts up to 195. This is the 5-day marker. It'll be right here in exactly 5 days, just north of Puerto Rico. And obviously we have a lot of wiggle room between Puerto Rico and the east coast of the U.S. So obviously there's a lot of stuff that needs to be worked out. Let's see here. Sorry I'm late says, let's see here. Moretta, let's see here. Says, sorry I'm late, was South Florida mentioned? No, not really. Yeah, I don't think this thing's going to come near Florida, honestly. Considering in the models, for its extended life, for the extended range, I should say, and the extended life, I should say, as well. But it seems like the winds are going to be increasing to the northeast, so we're going to get a bit of a jet stream to kind of ride parallel with the U.S. East Coast, which, theory should pull it to the north, as well as, hopefully keep it away from land. Hopefully. But we'll see. But, yeah, I honestly, the chances of it going like this is very, very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. Let's see here. Marcia says thank you. You're very welcome. Very welcome. Yeah, I understand your your bit of questions that you might have overall, but in general, like I said, obviously, we'll be here for you. But yeah. But like I was saying, yeah, I personally don't see too many impacts on Florida. I mean, the only thing impact-wise I see as a possibility right now is as the system sweeps through, maybe some of those rip currents could be a problem. Some higher waves could be an issue out there, which, these systems definitely do influence higher waves. I mean, I can assure you that one. Let me actually bring you guys over to a model real quickly. I want to go and show you guys something really quick. We're going to bring you guys, let's see, to the U.S., and I'm going to bring you all to the East Coast. Here we go. And we're going to look at the wave height and direction. Okay. So here we go. This is the wave height and direction. You guys can follow along in feet here. For the people who like dark mode, I like you, because that's the way everything should be. But yeah, let me go ahead and load those real quickly. But yeah, so this is measuring the wave height and the direction, obviously. So the waves in this case have been moving to the southwest. And like I said, the green's kind of between 8 and 9 feet, so you guys can kind of see it overall. So this is the European model. This is the ECMWF. And according to the European model, obviously we are seeing those waves really picking up. I mean, even across like the Caribbean, it could be getting pretty nuts. Let's see. I think the previous run, the 00 Zulu run is the one we got to look at, because this one goes extended range. But according to the 00 Zulu here, I mean, it has this thing definitely picking up those waves. I mean, for example, look at that. Look at those waves. I mean, the whole U.S. East Coast is just going to get some massive waves. That is something that seems to be a good possibility. Is that the whole U.S. East Coast here? That's what I've been saying basically since day one. Is that even if this thing pulls the best case scenario and does go out to sea, we're gonna have some big tidal problems. That's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe even some swelling because of these waves is a good possibility. But anyways, but yeah, we work our way further down in time. I mean, you can see those waves. Depending on how close it gets to the U.S. East Coast, it's crazy. What? Maximum waves of 101 feet. That is ridiculous, according to this. I don't know how much I trust that, but you see what I'm saying, guys? Overall, like I was saying, those waves, that's the direction of the waves. I mean, they could get pretty high. Obviously, the more closer it gets to land, obviously, the more bigger waves we're going to have. But even regardless, like I said, even if it remains, fairly far away, if it remains fairly far away, you can see that those waves are just aimed right at the U.S. East Coast. I mean, going very, very far through. So that is something to, definitely look out for. You can kind of see Bermuda's acting as a little shield. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah, you see how the waves are a little lower because the waves coming through are getting blocked by the island. That's pretty funny. Let's see here. Marietta coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Marietta. That's very appreciative. Thank you so much. That is very nice of you. Like I said, you don't have to do that. Like I said, we obviously thank you so much, though. It's greatly appreciated. But like I said, you do not have to donate. Like I said, obviously, I'm just here to make sure you guys are being safe and all that you guys are prepared. But I really do appreciate that support. Thank you so much, Marietta. See, thank you for no hype. You're very welcome. Like I said, yeah, there's a lot of hype people out there. Trust me. I'm not going to mention anybody, but there is people that overhype the weather forecast, which they obviously shouldn't. Because, like I said, obviously I just take whatever information we got, whatever is reasonable. And like I said, the bottom line is, like I was saying, guys, we really don't know, what's going to happen after that 5-day mark. Like I said, the cone of uncertainty, you can see how much it widens out once we track our way just north of, Puerto Rico there. Let's see here. Lisa says, I'm in Canada. It looks like it will hit Nova Scotia. Well, like I said, that's like over 10 days away. Okay, so a lot can change in 10 days. Like I said, me, I do not like looking at the weather forecast past 5 days. Unless I have some absolute serious agreement, which we don't really have, considering like the European model has it getting close to the U.S. East Coast, while the GFS has it tracking further out to sea. So the models are still a little bit iffy. Obviously, the models are not really too much on agreement mode, I should say. But yeah, no, I definitely, we just need to watch out for it. Let's just take it day by day. But like I said, nobody across the East Coast right now should be preparing for this. Like I said, nobody should be preparing for this across the East Coast. We don't even know if it's going to hit the East Coast of the U.S. But I will say that the U.S. East Coast should watch it, not prepare for it yet. Like I said, obviously, if we know it's going to hit land, then we'll let you guys know where should prepare for it. But right now, like I said, don't worry. Don't worry about the system, because more than likely, this thing theoretically will more than likely, according to the models, the most likely scenario could pass out to the ocean, which is just a wave problem for the East Coast. And possibly Bermuda should watch out for this as well, just in general. I mean, those waves, like I was explaining here a minute ago, those waves are, pretty much, yeah, like I said, pretty much expected to get pretty daggone heavy regardless. So, yeah, definitely got to look out there for that. I mean, seriously, some of these waves, according to the, the ECMWF, is pretty crazy. I mean, we could feel those waves effects as early as, like, the 13th, it looks like. I mean, even that's 6 days away. So even that's like 6 days away, which is, a bit far away out there. Let's see. And then obviously the wind shear, like I was talking about here, as we work our way down in time, essentially, as the system rolls through, we're going to be having ourselves this jet stream. You can kind of see we have this other low pressure system here and a big ridge up across the north, which, like I said, should suck the storm here to the north to some degree. But overall, I mean, that's that. But yeah, the European model has this thing getting a little close to the northeast there, a little close for comfort. But once again, that's just one model's opinion here in general. And of course, whenever it comes to, let's see here, the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out which one. Let's see. Yeah, the amount of water vapor. Like I said, it looks like the cyclone has a lot of water vapor in it, but it looks like, yes, it looks like maybe some dry air could be a problem for its cycle down in time towards the, as it approaches near the Bahamas. It looks like a bit of dry air could be shot into the system. So overall, it looks like there could be a lot of weakening factors included with, stronger winds, a bit of, obviously a bit of dry air, and the surface temperatures of the ocean drop a bit, which would be a little bit more, a little bit more weaker overall. What's up, Mark? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Hope everything's well with you. But anyways, yeah, like I was saying, definitely gotta watch it regardless. I mean, it's gonna need to be. Joshua says chance of Florida getting hit. Like I said, Joshua, I think you mentioned that earlier as well. Like I was saying, I don't think this thing is gonna hit Florida. It doesn't look like it will. It looks like it's just going to be, shot to the northwest and then pulled up north. Depending on what it does after this point is kind of unknown. Okay? I really don't think it's going to, really do that. But anyways, Mark, hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. But yeah, like I was saying, though, I mean, the system's going to be a beast. I mean, it's already turning into one, that's for sure. Like I said, currently, if you guys are just now joining us, like I said, the current system right now, we're talking sustained winds of 105. Currently, with gusts getting up to 125, we're talking west-northwest movement here currently. Overall, like I said, the current pressure is 983. Oh, we should have a new update coming through. Hold on a minute, y'all. It's up, 105, 983. This was at 11 a.m. New advisory should come out here. Yeah, here very soon. Let's see here. Okay, we'll have to keep an eye out there for that. Let's see, did I get any tweets coming through? No, I don't think I did. Yeah, I usually get tweets before Hurricane Center posts those on their page. But yeah, we'll probably get a new update here soon. They update every 3 hours, so... yeah, so right now, the last update was 11 a.m., so it's now 2. So yeah, we should get new updates here very soon. Let's see here. There was 9 deaths with Hurricane Idalia. Yeah, unfortunately. I didn't hear it was that number, but, I mean, I did hear that there was a couple fatalities, unfortunately. But, But yeah, like I was saying, guys, we work our way down here we work our way down to later on this evening. Right around 8 p.m. According to the track here, we're talking sustained winds here this evening. Potentially could be up to around 130, with wind gusts here possibly up to around 160. And then, like I said, expected to remain upper Cat 4 tomorrow with sustained winds. Tomorrow morning, sustained winds of 150 with gusts up to 185. And then, lo and behold, we got ourselves a Cat 5 for tomorrow evening in the forecast here, for sustained winds of 160 with gusts getting up to a whopping very light breeze of 195. 195 mile per hour light breeze. It's crazy. That is really crazy. Let's see here. Let's see. Hey, I live in New York, says Jack says I live in New York. I've heard a lot of people saying it will hit New York / New England. Do I think it will? Is this another Hurricane Sandy? So, Jack, the overall verdict is that it's too early to be certain. Like I said, right now, so obviously you're talking about up here towards New York. The storm is very far away from you at this point. The storm's right here, so you can see it's very, very far away. I mean, even if it was taking a direct path to New York, see here, even if it was taking a direct path, it's well over 2,300 miles away from you. So, yeah, it's gonna change. Oops, let me go ahead and remove that. There we go. So, like I said, obviously between now, which is right here, and between 5 days from now, it'll be right here. So this is 5 days from now, and even at this point, it's still going to be very far away. Okay, the models are not very good past 5+ days, so we don't really have a solid clue of what's going to happen after it passes here. Considering that the cone of uncertainty, you can see how it really gets wide at the end of the cycle is because there's a lot of uncertainty. So we can't say that there's not going to be impacts involved with it, but we also can't say for sure there will be, okay? So like I said, just monitor it, Jack, for the next couple of days. We're going to need to keep an eye out there for it because, obviously this thing could, it could go either way. It definitely could, in which, it's going to need to be monitored regardless. So just keep checking in here every once in a while on the stream. And like I said, we usually do 2 updates a day. We do one in the morning and one in the evening in terms of the tropics overall. So like I said, I'll be here for you guys to, make sure that y'all are up to date and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, nothing to worry about right now. There's no reason to panic. Like I said, obviously, guys, keep it chill for now. Because like I said, this thing's not, no area of land's in the cone of uncertainty right now, okay? No area of land right now is in the cone of uncertainty. Let's see here. Nick says, everyone remember to smash the like button. 120 watching and only 34 likes. Mine, it says there's like 300 people watching. Let's see here. Also, we have 130 likes. Thank you guys for liking. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, it looks like Nick, I don't think your thing updated, but I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the support today and just in general. Anyways, but guys, for a little update across the Northeast, like I was saying, we do have a severe weather event that's kicking off there. Basically across areas here, in Northern Virginia, all the way up to portions here, obviously inside the watch here, to New York State. It's most of the areas here in the yellow that needs to watch out because, that's that severe threat level 2 out of 5 on the spectrum, which is obviously on the lower side of the spectrum, but it is a severe weather threat, meaning that there is, a solid threat for severe weather. Then obviously to the south, the dark green area says, there's a possibility for a few isolated storms. I mean, you can see right now in this entire area, there's only one severe thunderstorm warning there. We have another set down here towards Louisiana, another one up there towards Oklahoma, and did I really just call Nebraska Kansas? I guess I did. But anyways, Nebraska, south central South Dakota. But yeah, the main concerns across the Northeast today for severe weather. Just keep it out there for that. Let's see here. Jack says, awesome. Thank you. You're very welcome, Jack. No problem. No problem at all. But anyways. But like I said, yeah, definitely got to keep it out there for it overall. And once again, y'all, sorry my camera went out. That was the thing that happened earlier, apparently. My camera had a bit of, I don't know what it did. I think it was my cable. Because I'm getting a new, like, those 4 square things for your monitors? Like, it's a big, I wouldn't say tripod, but it holds 4 monitors. I'll post it on my community page whenever it's done. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to be setting that up here later today. But we'll be doing another update later tonight. I'm going to say maybe around 9, 10 o'clock or so. So 9:10 p.m. Eastern, guys, will be live. So make sure to join us for the next update. Waiting on a new update now, actually. Let's see here, Hurricane Lee. Yep, last update here was at 11 a.m. I wouldn't even be surprised if this thing's near Cat 3. At the point being, I mean, right now it's sustained of 105, but this thing's been like rapidly intensifying. Yeah, I mean, this thing's been like rapidly intensifying. Yeah, that's an old update there. Let's see. But yeah, no, we'll have to keep an eye on it. And like I said, for the people who's wondering, yes, this thing is forecasted to be a Category 5 hurricane. Basically here for, let's see here. Yeah, basically here starting tomorrow evening, it looks like. At the earliest, this thing could be Cat 5 from what we're expecting. The earliest from right now of what we're expecting Cat 5 to be right around, basically right around here for tomorrow evening around 8 p.m. Eastern. Sustained winds of 160 with a whopping light breeze of 195 miles per hour. So, like I said, it's definitely, definitely going to be a little crazy out there. And like I said, obviously in terms of the, like the waves and stuff like that, I mean, shoot, those waves are going to be pretty hectic. For obviously the Caribbean. I'm going to bring you guys over here to models. Hold on. I'm going to pull those up real quickly. Let's see here. North America, maybe. Okay, yeah, this is good enough. So here's the wave expectancy according to the models here. But yeah, you can see those waves will obviously gradually increase across, like the Lesser Antilles as well as, places here towards, like I said, obviously Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. Those places will definitely probably see some higher waves. And like I was saying there, we got a new run coming through. Nice. Got a new ECMWF run coming through. But anyways... But yeah, late down in the cycle here, I mean, the system's, likely going to bring some pretty heavy waves for the islands out there, especially for the northern side. And like I said, obviously the U.S. East Coast could be feeling some really heavy waves as well. I mean, like I said, even if it does the best case scenario, like I said, even if the system does travel out to sea, if it does go out to sea, we're still going to be seeing a lot of heavy wave action. And like I said, even some rip current issues. Could be a problem there. So, like I said, definitely, still definitely have got to watch it, Because, like I said, I definitely do think that there, regardless, is going to be some potential impacts there across the East Coast with those rip currents and the overall verdict of, some higher waves. So, like I was saying, though, if you guys are planning a vacation here for next week out there and you're going on the beach on the East Coast, just keep an eye on it, okay? Just keep an eye out there for it. But, all right. Well, guys, I think we're going to head off here soon. Like I said, we've been live for actually about an hour and a half. Yep, we've been live for an hour and a half here. Once again, guys, we are going to do another live stream later on today. Here for probably around, like I said, 9, 10 o'clock or so. 9, 10 Eastern, which will be 8, 9 Central. And 7, 8 Mountain. And 6, 7 Pacific. So that's the time zones of when we're going to be going live again today to do another tropical weather update on, obviously Lee here. So we'll keep you guys informed with everything going on. Like I said, y'all don't panic. There's no reason to be scared right now. In general, like I said, I understand a lot of people on the East Coast is probably a little bit worried, a little concerned right now, which I totally get it. I mean, like I said, we just don't know. Okay, we just don't know what it's going to do after it reaches the northern side of the Caribbean. Or once it passes slightly to the north of the Caribbean, okay? But like I said, what I'm very solid on is, yes, expect those waves to get pretty solid across the East Coast there. Because like I said, I mean, we're going to see a pretty big cane go straight through, basically, best case scenario, like I was saying, go through the ocean there and everything like that. But anyways. Anyways, y'all, so you guys be safe out there. Like I said, y'all, look out. The main thing we got to look out for today, once again, you guys, is obviously the severe weather potential for today. We do got a severe thunderstorm watch, like I was saying. in effect until 9 p.m. So right around the time we go live here, this thing will be canceling. But yeah, 1.5-inch hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts is possible. No tornadoes, thankfully. Yeah, we're not expecting any tornadoes. So, like I said, anywhere from Northern Virginia through Maryland, through western side here of New Jersey, into Pennsylvania. And in New York State there, keep an eye out there for it overall, as some severe weather can be expected in general. But, okay. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Like I said, we'll catch you guys later on. So if you're not already, consider subscribing. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you to, but just consider it. Consider leaving a like as well. It'd be greatly appreciated, guys. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm, helps get that word out there. If you guys can, share this to your friends and family as well. Like I said, tell them to tune in whenever we do go live. And turn on post notifications. That way, that bell there. Click that bell. That way you guys can get notified whenever we do go live, for the Tropics and stuff like that. So it'll be greatly appreciated. But, okay, guys. Well, you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And like I said, we're going to go ahead head over here to the ending screen. Once again, we'll catch you guys later on again today. This is not the end of it for me today. We'll be live here once again, maybe around 9, 10 o'clock or so. So we'll catch you guys later on. But once again, big shout out goes to our donators. We had 2 donors here for today. Thank you so much. The big thanks goes to Michael as well as Marietta. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Greatly appreciated. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much. And thank everybody for joining us and hanging out with us here for today. Like I said, it ain't over yet today, though. So hopefully we'll catch you guys later on in the next update in general. But, all right. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. We're going to go ahead and set this here. We're going to go ahead and set this to, 2 minutes to go. So if y'all want to say anything in the chat, go ahead and say your final goodbyes to the chat. And, all right, you guys. Let's see here. Catherine says, thank you for the information. You're very welcome. You are very welcome, you guys. Much love to all of y'all. Like I said, we love you guys. Every single one of y'all. Every single one of y'all matter. And we care about every single one of you guys. And obviously, whatever we can do to help y'all out, we're going to be doing just to make sure that you guys are staying safe out there. But, all right. Well, you guys take care. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening, afternoon. And we'll catch you guys here once again later on tonight, right around 9, 10 o'clock. All right, guys. Take care. Catch y'all later on. Peace out.